Hello, race fans. Welcome to Martinsville, Virginia. We are at the Paperclip, as a lot of race fans and drivers like to call it. It is the Martinsville Speedway for the 2017 Upper Edge Profile Machine Products Cup Series powered by OurExpression. We're here today for the OurExpression Studio 250 as we have a championship playoff going on right now. This is the last race for the round of 12, and then we will walk into next week at Texas to begin the round of 8. I'm Tanner Sharp, and alongside me in the booth tonight is Mr. David Everly, who's doing the double duty of helping me call the action and pushing all the camera knobs tonight. And David, welcome to Martinsville Speedway. We were just talking about Martinsville, and it is such a fun little short track, and I threw in a little joke that if only iRacing would convert this into dirt. Tell us what of your knowledge of Martinsville.
Oh, it's just one of them short tracks where the old saying, you ain't racing unless you're rubbing. Gonna have a lot of action all over the track, so can't wait to see what these drivers are gonna do. Also, to add on the pressure, it's the last race of round 1. That's right, we are gonna go from 12 racers down to 8 here in the playoffs, so some of these drivers must do well if they want to make it to the next round.
And before I start talking about the drivers in tonight's event, I would like to talk about a little bit about the racetracks we have been to in the round of 12 here, and of course the racetrack we're racing tonight. I like to call round of 12 a little bit of a mix. You had a mix of everything. You had 1.5 miles, one road course, and tonight we're at a short track. It all began at the Chicagoland Speedway. Last week we were at Watkins Glen International, which was dominated and won by Austin Hartenfels. And now we come to probably the wild card of round number 12, and that is Martinsville Speedway, which dated back, opened up in 1947. The degrees of banking in the corner is relatively flat of 12 degrees of banking, 0 degrees of banking on the front straightaway. Now, they did add lights here at Martinsville, but there's no lights on the iRacing sim just yet. Hopefully sometime in the near future. Hashtag soon, or hashtag coming soon. But unofficially. But let's talk about the points right now before we start heading into today's race. Carl Shedd became the new championship leader after Watkins Glen. He's your championship leader so far heading into the round of 8 with 1,097 points. Joseph Tice will jump up the spot to second. He's 7 points behind, 1,090 points. Joe Lawrence walked into Watkins Glen last week, and he had a bad finish, finishing outside the top 10. That puts him down in third in points, with just 8 points behind the race leader. So that's 1,089 points. Michael Araya in fourth with 1,085, and Corey Hoover rounding out that top 5 with 1,083. Now, I was going through the points here, David, and I just based on mathematical, usually realistically, from fourth on back, mathematically can lose this, can walk out of this can get eliminated from this championship round. That's mathematically, depending upon how many cars we do have on track today. I'm currently seeing right now 18 and 19 cars so far have registered for the race today. Any one of those drivers mathematically can be eliminated, but I am really fearing for drivers like Joshua Adams, Robert Kenny, Ryan Dyson, Bradley Burke, and Michael. You can probably throw Michael Fennelson into that mix as well. That is 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th. Tight points. And that separation gap from 6th in points all the way to 12th is a mere of 16 points. That is the gap between 6th through 12th. So tight points battle to try to get into the next round. And like I said, this is going to be a wild card race, Dave, of Martinsville Speedway. I guess you can call this the short track of Talladega.
Yeah, most definitely so. I tell you, taking a look at qualifying times right now, Michael Araya on the pole, Michael Fennelson sitting there in second, Joe Lawrence third. These guys are out here, they want to get it done, but they still got just about 2.5 minutes left to qualify.
Yep. Yep. So let's talk about those drivers here right now, since they got about 2.5 minutes left of qualification time. I'm going to look at the practice start charts here. Joe Lawrence was on top of the practice charts. Corey Hoover in second. Jake Watson, third. Shane Tyrion, fourth. And that top 5 is Ryan Dyson. Now, none of those 5 drivers are sitting on the pole, but I can say that one of those drivers are in that top 5, and that would be Joe Lawrence, who qualified third. But so far, where is our championship leader, Carl Shed? 7th in practice, 11th in qualification, as it's still going on. I do believe this is a group qualification here, Dave. You'll see drivers out on the racetrack. But so far on top of the board, it is Michael Laraya in the 44. Now, he's fast every week, no matter where we go, in my opinion. He is 10th fastest on practice charts, but he gained 2/10 of his practice time, so that's a good thing for Laraya. And I think the safest place out front at Martinsville is going to be out towards the front, as long as you're not going to get punted from behind.
Well, the thing of it too, Tanner, you got to look at short track. It's only a half mile. They're going to run into slower traffic here as they're going to be working their way around. So I don't know if necessarily being out front's going to be the best, because these guys are going to have to work their way through some slower traffic, meanwhile trying to keep their pace to keep the guys behind them.
Yeah, you can go a lap down very easy if you remain under green flag here at Martinsville. And these guys, I will guarantee you, they will take up half the racetrack, even maybe more, if they do stay green flag racing. But I am begging that we're going to have a lot of cautions today, just because it is Martinsville. It is one of the toughest short tracks that we go to in the Upper Edge Racing League's Profile Machine Products Cup Series. Martinsville Speedway is a paperclip racetrack. I know Carl Edwards one time, when he first turned laps at Martinsville, he couldn't believe how tight the corners were. So he really had to yank on that wheel to get that car to turn. It's almost like turning a Formula One car, but in a stock car on a Formula One track. That's how tight the corners are here. Then you got to try to get them good runs off. I think those good runs off is what's going to be beneficial to try to get a run at somebody, but it can also mean disaster as well, as far as spinning the tires or hitting the outside wall. So checkered flag is out. That means qualification is now finished up. 5 seconds to go on the grid before they grid up, according to iRacing officials. And here we go. Grid is starting up. So that means we're ready to go. Mike, congratulations to Michael Laraya on collecting the pole this evening. He's going to be on the pole tonight. Michael Fennelson wants at least a good night for him. He's going to start in second. Joe Lawrence, third in championship points before the round of 8. He should be good to go as long as he has a decent finish. I assume mathematically he'll be okay. He'll start third. Corey Hoover in the 33. He's fast no matter where. He's another driver that's fast, especially on a road course. But tonight we're on a short track. I'm sure he'll be a factor tonight. He's going to roll off fourth. Joseph Tice in fifth tonight. Ryan Dyson's going to start in sixth. Walker Thomas will start in seventh. Jake Watson in eighth. Shane Tyrion, a championship contender who is in danger, who could possibly not make the round of 8. He'll roll off in ninth. Bradley Burke rounding out that top 10. Carl Shed, the championship point leader thus far, is going to start in 11th spot. Eric de Blasio in the number 20 is going to start in 12th. Adam de Blasio in the 13th. It will start roll off in the 13th position. Jamie Dyson is going to roll off 14th. Jacob Adams, 15th. Bronson Stafford, 16th. Now here's some championship contenders back here. Robert Kenny on the danger spot on not making the round of 8. He's the last driver to take a qualification time. He'll roll off in the 17th position. Joshua Adams, another one who is in championship contention. Yeah, he's actually 12th on the bottom of the list. He's going to roll down in 18th. And Riley Grant Davis in the number 24 Designs will roll off 19th. All right, folks. Well, I should do the honors up here in the booth since I'm not out there on the racetrack. I'm going to say, gentlemen, start your engines. Vroom, vroom. That's right. So we're going to get ready to go for some short track racing action at the Martinsville Speedway, located in Martinsville, Virginia. All right. So key stories we got to talk about as this race goes on tonight is going to be championship contention. We got to keep an eye on at least 4 drivers, and the 4 drivers we need to keep an eye on is Joshua Adams, Robert Kenny, Ryan Dyson, and Bradley Burke. Those guys are really in the danger zone on not making the round of 8. Michael Fennelson is 2 points ahead of Bradley Burke. Yeah, Fennelson is in 8th place, but he's got 2 points ahead of 9th. So, yeah, I mean, he's on the verge on possibly not making it here. They are going to take 2 pace laps around Martinsville. Usually a mile or less requires 2 pace laps on the iRacing sim. They're going to take the green flag next time by. Dave, final thoughts before we take the green.
Well, Tanner, I'm just excited to see how this is. We've watched these guys all season. We know it's playoff. Anything can happen. Let's go green flag racing here at Martinsville.
Every week, I love coming in here and sitting in the booth. Just about every week, I should say, and I will be here for every single week to watch these guys run for this championship. Here, Michael Laraya is going to be out front in that Chevrolet SS. Going to come to take the green flag. That is actually Auto Light taking the green flag. We're racing at Martinsville. Side by side, entering turn number 1 for the first time. 2 by 2 as the 14 of Fennelson keeping it strong in that higher line. Everybody trying to get to the inside row. Looks like here comes Joe Lawrence going to take over the second spot. Now, this is the part of the track. It's only probably going to last 1 lap. Now that outside row is probably not going to be the lane you want to be in. You want to be on the inside row, hugging that yellow line down there without touching that curb. There is a curb down there you got to be careful of. As Laraya pulls out in front, Joe Lawrence in second, battle for third, Joseph Tice and Michael Fennelson side by side coming off turn number 4.
Yeah, it looks like they're trying to get single file here. The 14, though, Fennelson, stuck on that outside, just can't catch a break. He is going to catch a break right behind the 5 of Joseph Tice as they come here into turn 3 and 4.
Single file all throughout the racetrack right now. I'm not seeing any side-by-side battles. Everybody's settling in line here at Martinsville. And folks, there's something I did not report that I would usually report is, hey, how many laps are we doing tonight? Well, it's 250 laps here at Martinsville tonight. Pretty much the halfway of an actual NASCAR Monster Energy Cup Series race. And the weather today was 78 degrees, warm outside. Track temperature is 104 degrees. So it can be a little slick coming off the edges of the corners as the tire wears. As pit road speed is 35 miles an hour. So no real battles going on right now on the racetrack. If anything, I am seeing the 24 machine going side by side with Robert Kenny. Something Robert Kenny does not want to happen. I know it's early, but he's going to be overtaken by Riley Grant Davis for the 18th spot on the speedway. That actually cleared right on up. We got a battle up towards the front right now. Looks like Corey Hoover getting underneath Ryan Dyson for a position on the speedway. That's for 5th on track. That will move up Corey Hoover up a spot and Ryan Dyson back a spot on the track. Single file all the way around right now. Out front, Laraya, Lawrence, Tice, Fennelson, and Hoover running in your top 5. Looks like Lawrence is not really gunning down Laraya just yet, but I'm going to keep an eye on that interval. Last time by at the start-finish line, 0.5 of a second. It's not seeing any major battles, but I do see Corey Hoover getting really close to that back bumper, looking towards the inside on the 14 of Fennelson. And looks like he's going to get that spot side by side coming off turn number 2. This is a battle for 4th on the speedway. Fennelson lets Corey Hoover go by. Well, that will move up. Oh, look, drifting up the track. Almost getting his nose chopped. He did get his nose chopped off. Ryan Dyson tried going underneath, but Fennelson had nothing. Didn't really have nothing for it. He wanted to keep his track position. Kind of killed Ryan Dyson's momentum there. So far, we still remain single file as we complete 10 laps here at Martinsville. It's all Michael Laraya out towards the front. Now, as a lot of you race fans out there would see that iRacing does have dynamic tracks. So in the middle of the corner, you can see how dark it's getting. Well, that's going to get even darker as this race goes on, especially when, we got a caution on the speedway. Caution is out for the first time tonight, and I'm seeing the 88 of Joshua Adams turned around off of turn number 2. That is not good because Joshua Adams is a championship contender. He is 12th so far in points. He actually spun out and hit the inside wall.
Yeah, it looks like coming out of turn number 2, he just lost it there on the inside. Got it spun around. Didn't really hit the wall too hard, but he has got some damage to that hood on the left-hand side.
Pit road is now open. Majority of the field is coming down pit road. I'm seeing at least 4 cars staying out under this caution flag right now, trying to gain a little bit of track position. But pit road is all led by Michael Araya, the pole sitter. Almost a collision on pit road. And actually, Joseph Tice overdrove his pit box into the 33s just a little bit of Corey Hoover. 2-tire stop for the 38 machine of Shane Tyrion. I think here comes a 51 machine. I think he's another driver that took 2 tires. That would be Bradley Burke, as Michael Araya does beat Lawrence off pit road with 4 tires.
Yeah,
so
it looks like right now Walker Thomas, Carl Shedd, Bronson Stafford, and Shane Tyrion staying out. Walker Thomas, our new race leader, getting those valuable bonus points for leading a lap.
Interesting calls going on, and you're right. Valuable bonus points of leading a lap. Get that bonus point out of the way. What a perfect opportunity to take it. Maybe come down pit road this time by. So Walker Thomas, Carl Shedd, and Bronson Stafford all stay out. I'm showing 2 drivers that took 2 tires, Shane Tyrion and Bradley Burke. This is going to be an interesting call. I know probably Bradley Burke was looking for some. He qualified 10th and only 7th, so he realistically only gained 3 spots on pit road. Shane Tyrion was kind of in the back of the pack, or at least in the top 10 area. He's going to be restarting 4th. 1 to go to green this time by. It's going to be all Walker Thomas, who, let's see where Walker Thomas, see what he does here on this restart. Pace car is in. Now Thomas is a championship contender, 6th in the championship standings. Green flag is out for the 2nd time today. Good old jump right there from Walker Thomas. Carl Shedd in the 45 is going to take the inside row. Shane Tyrion on 2 right side tires. Going to battle with the 45 of Carl Shedd. Here comes Tyrion using up that higher line of the racetrack. Oh, a little bottleneck right there. I think there may have been slight contact between Shedd and Tyrion, but Tyrion will not be denied. Coming off the corner of turn number 2, and he got him on the exit of the corner. Great run by Shane Tyrion on 2 tires. Now he's got 1 more shot to try to get after the race leader, Walker Thomas. The battle is on for the 4th spot on the track. Joe Lawrence all over the back bumper of Carl Shedd. Here comes Fennelson. Something's going on with Carl Shedd. He is one of the drivers that, we got a bottleneck in the middle of the field as well. Nothing happening. Nobody's spinning out, but Carl Shedd dropping like a rock on older tires on the inside road, doing everything he can to hold his track position. You got a mess back here, Dave, as you like to call it, the Hornets nets from the 39 of Bronson Stafford on back.
Yeah, that's a pretty wild ride there, especially on such a short track.
Whew, yeah, you got to have quick reflexes at a track like this, and I'm not lying about that, especially on iRacing. Maybe it's difficult in the real life, but I know iRacing here, it can be a real handful at times. Carl Shedd is really dropping like a rock on the inside row. He just cannot get the speed on corner exit. Of course, Carl Shedd really doesn't have to worry too much. I'd say try to get the best finish as you can. It's still really early, so that may have been a good play right there for Carl Shedd to stay out to see what you can do on older tires, and obviously it's not really working. Shane Tyrion did pass Walker Thomas for the race lead. Walker Thomas remains in the 2nd spot right now.
No, Walker Thomas now dropped back to 3rd. It's the 78. Ooh. Joe Lawrence got around him, but now Walker Thomas has got the 14. Michael Fennelson right there behind him as well.
Bronson Stafford was another driver, yes, that stayed out. So Thomas, Shedd, and Stafford stayed out. But yeah, you're right. Walker Thomas is dropping like a rock right now. He has a rear view mirror full of Michael Fennelson in that Mobil 1 Toyota machine. He's going to get a run on the exit here. Going to try to get side by side. He's going to shoot for it right now. Down in turn number 3. And there goes way up the hill into the gray area goes Thomas. He's going to lose 3 spots at least before he gets cleared once again. Maybe more, because here comes a 21 of Adam de Blasio. This is actually the only side-by-side battle that's kind of going on the racetrack right now. Oh, almost bumper tag right there from Adam de Blasio to Walker Thomas. Almost tagged him in the left rear quarter panel. Everything remains good right there. A little give and take going on. There is a battle in the back of the pack. Ooh, we got a battle of Corey Hoover trying to go underneath de Blasio. Slam the door just as de Blasio is trying to get underneath Walker. This is a pretty good battle right here, though, too. But I think there's a battle going on for Eric de Blasio going underneath Bronson Stafford. Those guys just made contact. They're playing bumper cars back there. There's more battle going up towards the front. Who's that little yellow car up there? That is going to be the 51 of Bradley Burke. Going underneath Carl Shed. Just ahead of him is Walker Thomas. Now, you got to remember, those drivers stayed out. And a little bumper tag to Bradley Burke to Walker Thomas. Man, these guys are all over each other for position, man. They're trying to get these guys on our older tires out of the way, but they want to try to hold their track position as best they can. We got a 3-wide battle back there. Who's that back there? That is the 8 machine of Jacob Adams to Joseph Tice and Bronson Stafford. Wow. We remain green. Nothing happened. Stafford's going to get passed by the 8 machine of Adams. Burke and the 22 of Jake Watson get by Walker Thomas and Carl Shed. We got a battle for third. It looks like Lariah just passed Fennelson for position. As I see Lawrence is starting to really gun down Shane Terrian. Man, battles all over the place here, folks, at Martinsville. Dave, you really got to be excited sitting in your chair over there watching this one, because this one's been all over the place.
Yeah, my little pointer's clicking all over the place to try to keep up with all the action.
I apologize. I know maybe we should stay on one action, but there's a lot of action going on in the Speedway that we should show the viewers on what's all going on right now. So, but nothing really happened up towards the front, but I'm sure we'll let you know when that starts to begin, as Lawrence is only a 10th off last time by at the start-finish line. He really gets his run off turn number 4. I'm trying to see what kind of battles are going on in the Speedway right now. And it's always good, you know, everybody gets some good airtime as well. You know, you don't want to leave everybody out. But everybody else I'm seeing is pretty much remaining single file right now. Could be a battle heating up with Fennelson and Dyson for the 4th spot. Could be. Nope, they're all still single file. Corey Hoover's been strong. He's just sitting right there, lurking, waiting for his move to come up. Oh, there goes Corey Hoover down to the inside on Ryan Dyson. He hit the curb. Still remains side by side. Door to door. Hoover very loose. Ooh, ever so close, ever so fast. Loosey-goosey. Goes Corey Hoover. Does not complete the pass on Ryan Dyson. Ryan Dyson played defense mode on Corey Hoover there. Nothing wrong with that. It is a race. Sometimes you got to try to get around your opponent. They try to make it tough for you, but heck, that's all racing right there. Bradley Burke looks like he's under fire or is under attack. He's got a rear view mirror full of Jake Watson. Watson's trying to enter in a little high and get that big old momentum on corner exit. The gap between the leaders, we don't need to go to them, but the gap between the leaders is is 0.3 of a second between Lawrence and Terrian, so nothing happening yet, and actually Terrian just gained another 10th. All right. Trying to see if there's any other battles going to be going on right now. So we got the 20, who's at the 20, Jake Watson to 22, trying to go around Burke, but he's so far kind of really hooked on his bumper. Patience could be wearing thin on him pretty soon. We'll have to find this out. We got a battle between Fennelson. Oh, Fennelson's around! Yep, I just seen something enter in turn number 3. He got extremely sideways, and he dirt tracked it, Dave. Holy cow.
Yeah, you got to watch here. I mean, like you said, just imagine this track covered in dirt.
Yeah. Oh boy, you're hit the nail on the head right there. You're exactly right, man. He really dirt tracked it in 3 and 4. Now, with that being said, look how much cars that brought into the mix from nose to tail. Fennelson's leading this little mix right here on Ryan Dyson, Corey Hoover, Adam de Blasio in the 21, Jake Watson, and Bradley Burke. That's 4th through 9th. The top 3 cars are separated by 0.6 of a second. Looks like in the middle of the pack here for that top 10 spot is that the 22 tried getting around the 21 of Adam de Blasio, the 22 Jake Watson. All right. Well, Corey Hoover's kind of in a little bit of he's kind of boxed in. He gets in hard, but he kind of has to ease up just a little bit, which kind of causes the 21 to almost him in the back bumper. These guys are still nose to tail. Although pretty good racing here at Martinsville Speedway. Only 1 caution so far. Here goes Adam de Blasio underneath the 22 of Jake Watson. Excuse me. Here comes Jake Watson actually trying to overtake de Blasio. Watson's been trying to operate that higher line of the track, and actually he's been getting pretty good runs on corner exit. He's getting a good run right here. Corner exit. He's going to clear de Blasio. Wow, older tires. And I think Hoover kind of seen that in his rearview mirror, so he's going to try to go after Ryan Dyson. Corey Hoover trying to make the outside lane work. Here comes a 22 thinking the same thing, but Dyson's going to close that hole. Put Corey Hoover up to 5th. Here comes a 22 of Dyson, or not Dyson, excuse me, Watson. Dyson's on the inside in the 28 machine, the OurExpression Chevrolet. Good pass again by Jake Watson, utilizing that outside line at Martinsville.
It looks like the 22 of Watson has figured out something that other people haven't. Even though the 33 Corey Hoover saw him do it, he took advantage. Oh, we got a little battle up close.
Yeah, they might tag him right here. That's close. Wow, actually, that was Michael Fennelson getting really loose off turn number 2. He saves it. Was about to be overtaken by Corey Hoover, but could not complete the pass. That opened the doors to outside lane on Jake Watson. Now Jake Watson's he's been working that higher line of the track. He's been making it work. He's going to get the run off turn number 4. Here comes Watson. He wants to try to complete the pass, but every time he gets a run, he kind of has to check up a little bit because of Fennelson. Battle for the race lead right now. Shane Terrian and Joe Lawrence.
Joe Lawrence trying that outside lane. He is going to get a good run off of the turn. He is going to lead that lap, taking the lead back away from the 38 of Shane Terrian here on lap 48.
All right, Joe, if you're listening to the broadcast, you maybe got that idea, but there's a battle going on for 4th, right now. Jake Watson using a higher line. And I was about to say, Joe Lawrence, unless you're listening to the broadcast in the background, unless somebody told you over radio communications about that outside row, tell you what, yes, that outside line does work. So throw Jake Watson in the 22 up to the 4th spot on the speedway.
Yeah, and he continues to run that middle of the high line there, getting some good speed there. He's taking a look. He's still 2.8 seconds back from Michael Lariah, so he's got a little bit of work to do to try to close that gap. He has actually closed it 0.2, now to 2.6.
Ooh, this is awesome. Man, I don't think I've ever recalled seeing such fantastic Martinsville racing here on iRacing in a long time. Usually in the iRacing official sessions, you get a lot of crashes. You're racing with people that you don't know. Here, in a league, you're racing with people you know, and you can produce great racing because of this. So this is fantastic racing by all these drivers. Only 1 caution right now, and we've already completed 51 laps in this race out of 250.
Yeah, most definitely here as we're watching the front three here. They are pretty much bumper to bumper here. You've got Joe Lawrence leading, Shane Terry in second, Michael Arias sitting right there in third.
Driver that's in danger. I'm going one lap down as championship contender. He is in the round of 12, 11th in the point standings. Robert Kenny, he's coming off turn number 4. Here comes the race leaders off turn number 4. So he's in danger. I'm going a lap down unless we see a caution flag. But nothing's producing just yet. The race leaders are separated by 9/10 of a second from Lariah to Lawrence.
Yeah, these front three, though, they're pulling away from fourth place to 22 of Jake Watson. Jake Watson, though, got a nice little gap of 5/10 between him and fifth place to 14 of Michael Fennelson.
You know, it's kind of funny. Watson, I did not really pay too much of attention. I don't know why I didn't, but I should have. But he is consistently fast. Here's how I figure. He was third on practice speed charts. It's like, okay, so he does have a fast car. He qualified 8th. Now he finds himself in 4th, and he's pulling away from the 5th place car, Fennelson. And at the same time, he's been steadily even with the race leaders on lap times. So Jake Watson's got a fast car. Actually, he gets really loose coming off turn number 4, but it's fast. Loose is fast. Uh-oh, I think we got a battle for second. Lariah trying to get underneath, or he was trying to get underneath Shane Tyrion. Tyrion's running the higher line than what Lariah is. And this is something, realistically, Shane Tyrion needs as a good run here at Martinsville. Better yet, a win. Reason why that is because Shane Tyrion is actually 7th in the points. Coming into this race, he was 4 points to the good coming into this race. Well, see, the chat's been pretty busy here tonight. Hello, everybody. Hopefully everybody's having a good night and enjoying this good one at Martinsville Speedway for the Upper Edge Racing League's Profile Machine Products Cup Series, powered by OurExpression for the OurExpression Studio 250. Trying to look throughout the field here, trying to see if there's any more battles going on that we could probably show the viewers here. So far, everybody's remaining single file on the speedway. Jacob Adams is down pit road. Something had to have happened to Jacob Adams. I do see, he blew an engine, Dave. He spun off turn number 2. And it did, surprisingly enough, it did not bring out a caution.
Yeah, he gets down on pit road. Looks like he's going to be down there for a little bit there for repairs.
Yeah, he was smoking on the entrance of pit road, so he pretty much blew that engine. He hit that inside wall a ton, but didn't 100% spin out. Corey Hoover going underneath the lap car of Robert Kenny, and it looked like the 21 was trying to get underneath Ryan Dyson, did not complete the pass. So Robert Kenny all the way up on the high side in the gray area, getting out of the way. Ryan Dyson might be the closest battle with Adam de Blasio. Maybe we got another one heating up. I think that's Carl Shed? Carl Shed, and then you got Eric de Blasio. Hey, how about a little bit of an update of those drivers that stayed out? One of those drivers is Carl Shed. He's sitting in 10th right now, 8.5 seconds behind and climbing. Walker Thomas, 12th currently, and Bronson Stafford, 14th. Those are the drivers that stayed out under the first caution, our first and only caution of tonight's event. And if those guys, they got to pit first, obviously. And if they do come down pit road, they're going to lose more than a lap, at least 2 to 3.
Yeah, but it won't be long before that second group's got a pit here. Right now, the person with the most laps on their tires is going to be the 45 Carl Shed. 66 laps since his last stop. Everyone else is right about 55.
Yep. So you can throw 67 laps right now for Carl Shed, Walker Thomas, and Bronson Stafford. 17 cars still on the lead lap. They are taking up half the racetrack. One car that is a lap down, as Jacob Adams, I do believe, is out of this race. He's multiple laps down and climbing. So Robert Kenny still 1 lap down. I think we're still a little ways from the pit stops, but we will see Walker Thomas, Carl Shed, and Bronson Stafford hit pit road eventually. They're already hitting 68 laps. Joseph Tice is under attack. Joseph Tice is under attack from, who's that back there? The 88 of Adams. They're all championship contenders, too.
Yeah, most definitely. But taking a look up here, it looks like Joe Lawrence and Michael Arias pulled away from the rest of one. Shane Tyrion, though, he's now under fire from Jake Watson. Jake Watson trying to the inside of Shane Tyrion, coming out of turns 3 and 4. They're going to be side by side coming to the line. Shane Tyrion's going to keep that position, but the Jake Watson there getting a good run. But that outside lane, he is going to complete that pass on Shane Tyrion out of turn number 2.
Shane Tyrion on two right side tires. And there was another driver that was on right side tires. I do believe that other driver was Bradley Burke. If I'm not mistaken, I got to make sure I get my notes corrected on that. Oh, we got a caution on the speedway. On the front stretch, he's backing up. Oh, don't back up. That would be Bronson Stafford. He is a driver that stayed out under that last caution. And that last driver, that was Bradley Burke that took 2 tires. So I did get that right. Bronson Stafford takes a spin off of turn number 2. There was a self-spin.
Just a small little love tap to that wall, but as we look at the replay, he was not under pressure. He was coming from the low to the high line. That back end just kicked around. That is going to bring out second caution, but I tell you what, those guys that did not pit, Carl Shed and them, are happy to see this caution.
Yeah, they can regain their composure, but they lost valuable track position, which is key here at Martinsville. Joe Lawrence leads the field down pit road. I cannot foresee anybody taking 2 tires. I do foresee everybody taking 4 tires, though, and a full tank of fuel. Seeing right sides go up on a lot of drivers. Left sides, 4 tires. And it's going to be Joe Lawrence leading the charge off of pit road. Michael Arias second. Watson's third. Corey Hoover 4th. Shane Tyrion 5th. That's a top 5 run off of pit road. Robert Kenny is going to be hitting the pits right now. He received the lucky dog, so back on the lead lap, Robert Kenny. As the field will catch the pace car. Pace car is actually down the backstretch, entering turn number 3.
I'll tell you what, though, you got to remember, too, these caution laps here at Martinsville are really quick. These pit crews got to be on the ball, because I tell you, it almost seems like caution comes out, you go down pit, then you go back green flag racing like almost immediately.
Yep, that's usually the nature of Martinsville, but a lot of times we're kind of seeing vice versa with a lot of cautions, right? Alrighty. Do we have the 1 to go signal? We do not.
Should be getting this time biased now. They're coming into turns 3 and 4.
Alright. Yep, 1 to go signal. All right, so let's reset the field before we take the green flag. Joe Lawrence, everybody's on 4 fresh tires, by the way. So Joe Lawrence is your race leader. Michael Araya second, Jake Watson third, Corey Hoover fourth, Shane Tyrion fifth, Michael Fennelson sixth, Ryan Dyson seventh, eighth place Adam de Blasio, Bradley Burke ninth, Carl Shedd rounding out the top 10.
Well, as the pace car now brings him here into turn 3 and 4. The pace car is off as they exit turn 4. Green flag is out. Joe Lawrence gets a great jump. Jake Watson to the inside of Michael Araya into turn 1. Is that inside the place to be right now? As Jake Watson is just going to edge out the 44 coming down the backstretch.
Watson hanging tough on that inside row. I thought he was one of the fastest cars on that last long run. He's battling side by side with the 44 of Laraya. Corey Hoover on the higher side of the track really has nowhere to go. He's fast. There's Shane Tyrion on 4 tires now instead of 2. They're side by side yet. Pretty good battle, and there's some more battle in the back. But the biggest battle on track is There's second, third, fourth, and fifth. Shane Tyrion kind of blinking just a little bit. Ooh, man, these guys get really close to the wall on corner exit. There's Hoover on the inside trying to get around Watson. Hoover's still trying to hang it in there. He's going to dive it down into turn number 1, side by side with Watson. Top 2 drivers, single file. It's Hoover versus Watson for third. De Blasio on the 21 going side by side with Ryan Dyson for 7th. Biggest battle, though, is for that third spot as far as the fast guys that have been really fast in this race. At one point or another, I think Hoover's fast on a short run, but I think Watson can get him on a longer run. He is on that outside row, but I think he's trying to heat up the tires just a little bit. I don't know if he's going to be able to complete the pass on Corey Hoover. He's still hanging tough. Just as much as... Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, most definitely. I tell you what, that 22, though, he is making that outside look great. Is Shane Tyrion trying to use the same line? Corey Hoover just cannot get around him. But I tell you what, using that inside lane, you're burning up your tires more than the 22 of Jake Watson in that middle lane.
Watson is making it look easy. And quite frankly, if I'm driving Martinsville, I prefer the inside just because I know how to get off the exit of the corner. I just think getting off the exit on the outside is kind of hard thing to do. But right now, they're going to settle single file. So Hoover is going to take over that spot over Watson. That's for third. The 21 of Adam de Blasio, though, is the only car battle on the racetrack. He's losing spots right now. Actually, he's still side by side with Ryan Dyson. It looked like he was losing spots, but right now he's about to lose a spot to Dyson and to be under attack from Bradley Burke. Here comes de Blasio again, trying to get a nice run-off corner exit. Battle might settle down. Oh, contact between Burke and de Blasio. Oh, that checks up the field. No caution. If anything, Burke kind of saved de Blasio from going around. There is damage, and oh, they make contact again. Beating and banging down in turn number 1. Still green flag racing. Nobody's spinning out yet. Oh, boy.
Well, they say, Tanner, this is short track racing. You're going to see that. If you walk out of here without somebody else's paint, you didn't race hard enough.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, good Lord, Bradley Burke. Man, that was kind of fun to watch. Rubbin's racing sometimes, but I tell you what, Bradley Burke, if this was one of them old NASCAR video games like 2006 or 2005, and you did that to somebody, to one of the AI cars, they would become your rival. If anybody remembers that.
I can't say I've ever played that one.
So de Blasio is going to settle in line back here just ahead of Carl Shedd. And by the way, that was a battle for 8th on track at the time. Nothing really producing up towards the front. I do see Laraya all over the back bumper of Joe Lawrence, though. But they're not passing each other. Corey Hoover might try to do something here with the top 3 drivers. So far, keeping tabs. Separated 0.6 of a second on track.
the 20 there of Eric de Blasio. He's under fire from the 18 of Walker Thomas. Walker Thomas on the outside. Just not, he's going to get the good run off of the turn, but not enough to jump down in front of him into the turn there, as Eric de Blasio is fighting back, trying to maintain that number 11 position.
Of course, Eric was actually not Eric, but I mean Eric and Adam kind of have the same paint scheme just a little bit, but I do believe it was Adam and Adam de Blasio and Bradley Burke. Walker Thomas, 11th. Figured he'd be a little quicker today. Last time he really showed speed was back in Chicagoland. That was the first race of the round of 12. Last week, he only led 2 laps, but finished mid-pack. And now today, he is running mid-pack in 11th, just outside the top 10. Walker Thomas was 8th fastest on speed on practice charts and 7th qualification time. Something to keep an eye on as well. So,
well, ladies and gentlemen, we are 95 laps into this race, 156 laps remaining. We're going to take this time to take our first commercial break of the night. We'll be right back here on the Dre Broadcasting Network as we bring you the final race of round of 12 here with the Upper Edge Profile Machine Products Cup Series powered by OurExpression. We'll be right back.
Don't let your first date be your last. Visit People Against Distracted Driving at PADD.org.
Welcome back to Martinsville, Virginia at the Martinsville Speedway for the Upper Edge Racing League's Profile Machine Products Cup Series, powered by OurExpression for the OurExpression 250. So far, it's been clean and green. Only 2 cautions in this race thus far. Joe Lawrence leading the way. He's got a pack of cars behind him of Michael Laraya, Corey Hoover, Jake Watson, and Shane Tyrion. Actually, Jake Watson, that's top 4 cars, run 1, 2, 3, 4, nose to tail. Shane Tyrion's kind of losing these guys back here. Michael Fennelson is going to be under attack from Ryan Dyson. All right, so what I'm going to do here, Dave, is this might require some clicking here. I don't know if you like doing clicking, but I kind of want to do a little bit of a race summary of what's going on right now. 143 laps to go. That means actually coming 142 laps to go. That will be 109 laps out of 250. 2 cautions for 9 laps so far at Martinsville. It's been 36 laps since we've seen our last caution flag. Joe Lawrence out front. He's been kind of majority out front today. He had a dismal finish at Watkins Glen. He's able to rebound so far and leading laps. He's out front. How about Michael Laraya sitting in second right now on the racetrack? Michael Laraya currently 4th in the points standing, sitting pretty nice and nifty right there. Corey Hoover, we do got to battle up towards the front here. As soon as I'm starting to go through the field, or try to go through the top 10, I should say, at least. Is Laraya able to get him? Nothing yet, but I'm going to keep an eye on that. Corey Hoover in the 3rd spot right now. Corey Hoover has a fast car here. Corey Hoover sitting 5th in the championship standings so far, running very, very smooth. Jake Watson, not a championship contender, but he's a non-championship playoff contender. He's sitting nice and pretty in that top 4 spot, coming from 8th. He's got a nice long-run car. Right now, he just kind of got loosey, right in front of him. Hoover got loosey-goosey. Here comes the strong point of Watson. Utilizing the high side of the racetrack, he's going to try to go past Corey Hoover. Down in turn number 3. Hoover and Watson secures 3rd spot on Corey Hoover. Nice pass. There he goes. Here comes Watson. I bet he's going to take the lead if he continues to run like this. He is one of the fastest cars on a long run, for sure. But while that's starting to heat up a little bit, let's go to the 5th place spot of Shane Tyrion. Now, Shane Tyrion, folks, is a championship contender, and he needs points. Today, would try to, with a good finish, he would try to get in. He had a 4-point gap ahead of 8th place. He's currently sitting in 7th at the start of the race. So far, running in the top 5. So good job on Shane Tyrion. Much well needed, as well as some dismal finishes. Michael Fennelson, 6th in the or 6th on the track right now. Fennelson is currently 8th in the championship standings. Only coming into this race 2 points ahead of 9th. As 9th through 12th will be eliminated after today's race. Ryan Dyson, 7th on track. Had some close encounters at times. Good old side-by-side racing, but Dyson hanging strong in the top 10. Ryan Dyson, 10th in the championship standings. He was one of the bottom feeders on the verge of elimination today. So far, he is currently on 6th on track. I do believe he is racing Bradley Burke for a spot. Bradley Burke, who is right behind of Dyson. Jake Watson actually got around Michael Laraya, Dave. Here comes Watson right now. He is coming. So I have to keep an eye on that. You can do whatever clicking you would like, Dave. I'll just continue to finish up here. So Dyson is racing Bradley Burke. Bradley Burke had a 4-point gap over Dyson. And those two drivers were on the verge of elimination coming into this race. we'll have to see how this fans out after the race today. Carl Shed is the championship leader walking into Martinsville. He is sitting in 9th place right now. Led some laps early, but kind of fell to the back on a 2-tire pit stop strategy. Actually, he didn't. Not 2 tires. He actually stayed out on the first caution of the evening. So Carl Shed in 9th. And Eric de Blasio rounding out that top 10. And Eric de Blasio is not a championship contender. All right, so let's keep eyes on the front here since I'm not seeing any battles on track. Nope, not seeing any battles on track, so I do want to keep an eyes on Jake Watson. He was keeping pretty good tabs with the race leader, still is. Utilizing that same line. I think Joe Lawrence kind of figured that out, so he's going to run the same line as Watson is. And a little bit of an update on championship breaking news contention. Bronson Stafford, who is not a championship contender, though. Maybe, actually, I thought he was, but I guess he is not. So Bronson Stafford is backed out of this race. He will finish in the 18th spot tonight. Jacob Adams is still out there on the track, 43 laps down. Robert Kinney, 2 laps down. Battle for the lead. Watson trying to get underneath Joe Lawrence. Did not work off of turn number 2. Followed closely by Michael Araya. Now here's where I think game changers as far as lead changes could interfere with this is lap cars. Joseph Tice in 16th place is going to go 1 lap down. Might be in the way here if they do catch him. And again, Tice is racing for a championship. Joseph Tice, where was he in the championship standings? Tice was second in the championship standings. So realistically, he really has nothing to worry about. I figured he would get a good finish, but that's actually very valuable points he's lost so far. Caution is out on the speedway, though. We got a car turned around on the backstretch off of turn number 2. Do believe it's Robert Kinney. Not good. He is a championship contender. 11th in the championship standings coming in today.
Yeah, taking a look at the Dre Broadcasting Instant Replay. Looks like coming through turns, I think that's 1 and 2. Gets loose on the end of 2 and hits that inside wall.
Yeah, Robert Kinney hit the inside wall, and now this caution. Now there will not be a lucky dog, because Robert Kinney would have been the next eligible car to be a lucky dog, but he spun out. He was the one that wrecked and actually saved Joseph Tice. Pit stops is led by Joe Lawrence down pit road. Everybody gets in their pit box nice and clean. Right side's going up, left side's going up as well. Looks like Watson's done. So is Lawrence. Lawrence will win the battle off of pit road. Watson second. 3rd place, Shane Tyrion. 4th place, Lariah. 5th place, Corey Hoover. Well, Dave, so far we're past the halfway point here at Martinsville, and so after the first half of this race, what are you making out here at Martinsville? Do you think track position is really key? We did see some strategy. Some of it didn't last too long, of course, but do you think someone could pull some bells on a late pit stop if we do get a late caution?
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely a possibility, but We still got a long way to go, 120 laps remaining. Don't think right now is the time for any drastic measures. Go down pit road, get your 4 tires, get back out there. Maybe within the next, I'd probably say 60, 70 laps, then is time to start thinking about some strategy to try to get that track position.
Yeah, I am in that same boat. If we do we got a 1-to-go signal right now, and I would wait and see how this race plays out. Let's see what happens with the final 50 laps if I was one of these drivers out on the racetrack and I was in the lead lap and I was running the top 10. Let's see what happens closing stages of this race if we do get a late caution. Pace car down pit road. Joe Lawrence is going to lead the way. Everybody on 4 tires. This is going to be interesting. Coming off turn number 4. Green flag. We're back out at it again.
Jake Watson there on the outside of Joe Lawrence. Joe Lawrence just not able to pull away. He is going to get away. I tell you, the 22 of Jake Watson, though, he is like inches away from that outside wall.
He is, man, but I tell you what, he's making use of it very good. Just wait, and I mean just wait until the tires start to settle in on Jake Watson's part. Almost contact between Watson and the car on the bottom. I believe that was Shane Tyrion. Woo, baby. That was close. Well, Shane Tyrion battling side by side with Michael Laraya. That is a battle for 3rd. There's a battle going on in the back of the pad. That would be Dyson and Burke. Excuse me. Oh, 3rd place still going on. Laraya hanging really tough on that outside row on Shane Tyrion. Here we go. Battle for the race lead. Down in turn number 3. Watson and Joe Lawrence. Could not complete the pass. So far, the battle is still on for 3rd, but it looks like Laraya is going to get run on the exit of the corner. And we'll see actually that battle is still going on for 3rd. Tyrion is not going to be denied on that bottom line of the racetrack. Ooh, we might see a battle for the lead. Not yet, but Tyrion is the biggest battle on the track right now. Everybody's single file. In this 3-car mix, you got Laraya, Tyrion, and Hoover. They're actually running really close to the race leaders as well, because the top 5 is separated by 0.8 of a second. Tyrion could not get that bottom line going, so he's going to have to back out of that. So nothing happened with Tyrion as he loses a couple of positions on the track. Corey Hoover wants to try to get around Laraya as Watson wants to get underneath Lawrence. Here comes Jake Watson down in turn number 3, side by side with Joe Lawrence. As Lawrence look at the run off corner exit.
And these guys just don't want to give up, do they, Tanner?
No, they don't want to give up. They can't give up because they're like, man, I need this track position. This track position is going to keep me out front to where it's going to count. And a lot of these guys up towards the front, with the exception of Jake Watson's running for a championship. And I do believe Laraya and I gotta see where Laraya and Tyrion are in points again. I gotta get out my little cheat sheet here. Laraya was 4th coming in. He should be okay. Tyrion was 7th coming into this race, only 4 points ahead of 8th. So Tyrion's the one that's really going to need the finish. If anything, if he stays where he's at, Shane Tyrion, and it ends right now, he'll be good. Mathematically. Battle for 3rd. Corey Hoover getting underneath Laraya. Laraya's going to let Hoover pass him.
Taking a look at some of my stats here, Tanner. Joe Lawrence leading 97 laps here so far. Shane Tyrion sitting there with 28 laps led. Michael Laraya with 7 laps led. Walker Thomas sitting there with 7 laps led.
Yeah, it's Joe Lawrence has pretty much been dominating the day so far, according to your stat sheet there, Dave. So that's a good stats you handed out right there. And I'm a stat guy. I'm nuts about stats.
Yeah, and I mean, taking a look here, only 105 laps remaining, so we're pretty much in the closing stages here. These guys all got about 18 laps since their last pit. So you're looking about another 50, 60 laps these guys can run on a tank of fuel. So it looks like it's going to be a one more pit stop night.
At least one more pit stop, but the way the night has been going, we'll see a caution. Again, they'll end that little run of pit stops, and you just kind of run it to the finish. But I think tires are important. We've seen how important a 10-lap difference on tires was when that first caution came out there, Dave.
Yeah, very true. But I tell you what, though, at the late stages of the run, I don't know. I think it might be worth trying a two-tire pit stop just to try to gain that valuable track position. As we're definitely seeing, it's difficult to make a pass here. Is Jake Watson all over the back bumper of our race leader, the 78 of Joe Lawrence?
Yeah, it's this has been an interesting race all day long. Been kind of very clean and green at times, and believe me, I've seen worse Martinsville races.
We've seen this league. They've ran a lot of races this season. Green flag, no cautions. So, I mean, even now, sitting here at 3 cautions here tonight, that's real good here, especially after already running 150 laps here tonight.
150 laps, yes. Tell you what, 3 cautions at Martinsville in a 150 lap race with these drivers. It says something, folks. I encourage. If you guys are interested in league racing, and stuff like that, please go to www.upperedgeracing.com. Find out more information right there. I'm not 100% sure if they're accepting right now. They might be. But if you want some good old clean fashion stock car NASCAR racing, this is the place to be. I mean, Dave and I can look back at their statistics on how many cautions they really have ran. And it's not a lot. At some races it can be, but here comes Joe Lawrence underneath. Oh, contact with Hoover! Oh, no! This will bring out a caution right here, Dave. Seen that battle for
be with Corey Hoover there. So let's take a look here at the Dre Broadcasting Instant Replay, focusing on the 33 of Corey Hoover, as he was riding behind, watching the battle between Joe Lawrence and the 22 of Jake Watson. I think I might have rewound it a little too far here, but that's okay, as we are still focusing on the 33 of Corey Hoover. Looks like he was riding right there. I know it was after Watson completed the pass there on the 78. Looks like contact between the 33 and the 78. He gets around, but he keeps it down low. No other cars involved. Just a little slight contact. So I look for him to be back up front here soon.
Wonder if that was big time. I'm looking back at this replay myself on my end of the and that was a battle for the race lead between Watson and Lawrence, and then some contact there. As you said, Dave, you're right. I'm not seeing. Yeah, that's minor contact. He'll be back up here before you know it. But we do got cars staying out. Adam De Blasio is gonna stay out on the racetrack. Gonna come in this time by though, so he did get credit for leading a lap. The 8 cars a lap down, so is Kenny. So the only car that stayed out on the lead lap was De Blasio.
The 5
Jake Watson.
Joseph Tice there got the wave around. He is back to 1 lap down. So he's still 1 lap down, but if getting another caution, he'd be on the lead lap.
It's awesome right there. That's really awesome, actually. So hopefully Joseph Tice can get back in this race, even though he's second in points. Who was the race off pit road? Jake Watson, Joe Lawrence, Michael Laraya, Shane Tyrion, and Michael Fennelson was the race off pit road.
Yeah, Corey Hoover, he's currently running back in 12th position. So he's still got a good shot because we still got 95 laps to go here tonight.
He'll be back. And you know he'll be back there, Dave. All right, so we get the. Do we have the one to go signal here, Dave?
What was that?
I'm just trying to see if we got the one to go signal. I'm clicking away on my camera, and
No, we should be getting it next time around here.
We're good. We're good. I'm just. I'm multitasking is what I'm doing right now. But
You want to switch seats there, Tanner?
well, I mean, now I'm not trained to be a director, but no, thank you.
It's multitasking times 10.
Yeah, that I can only imagine. That's all I can say about that.
Well, Tanner, look at that. We're back 1 to green here as they are on the backstretch, ready to go. Green flag racing. We are going to have 92 laps at the drop of the green flag.
Yeah, so I would assume that was our last pit stop. But Watson's been hard to pass. And he's really gone along. Look at this. Big old jump. Now he's going to be really hard to catch. Spinning the tires goes Joe Lawrence. We're back on the green at Martinsville. Watson is not playing games. He wants this victory at Martinsville today. He wants one of those trophies, which is the famous trophy of a grandfather clock. One of the most historic trophies in NASCAR history. Michael Lariah is battling side by side with Shane Tyrion. And behind them, you got Dyson and Fennelson. And Bradley Burke and Carl Shedd. Battles all over the speedway today. All right, there goes Lariah trying to get underneath Shane Tyrion. And Dave, did Lariah lead a lap today at all?
Yes, Michael Lariah has actually led 11 laps here tonight.
Okay, so he has been that. You know, and sometimes these races can go a long time, and it's like I forget who's leading laps. And I know Joe Lawrence was up towards front leading a bunch of laps, and I assume he's led the most so far because I don't have a stat sheet going on right now for leading laps. But as far as like pit road and last time they visited pit road, I do have live timing and scoring on my end. But that battle for third is not going to be no more, as Lariah is now going to have to settle for fourth. A little bit of a stack up on the entrance of the corner of Lariah on back. That'll be Fennelson, Dyson, and Carl Shedd. Now an update on Corey Hoover. He's mirrored back in traffic and 10th right now. Gained 3 spots since the drop of the green. He's going to work that outside row back there. And that's actually going to be the only battle on track.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are at 87 laps remaining here tonight. We're going to go ahead and step away for another commercial break here on the Dre Broadcasting Network. When we come back, we'll bring you the action here at Martinsville with the Upper Edge Profile Machine Products Cup Series powered by OurExpression. We'll be right back.
Don't let your first date be your last. Visit People Against Distracted Driving at PADD.org.
Welcome back to Martinsville Speedway. As you've seen on the side-by-side, we have a caution flag affected with tagging Shane Tyrion and Joe Lawrence down turns 1 and 2. We have the 1-to-go signal right now. Shane Tyrion's going to line up in back of the pack, 15th according to his time and scoring. Joe Lawrence 13th. Now, this is not what Shane Tyrion wanted to see, but he's got time to get back up towards the front. Ryan Dyson and Corey Hoover are going to take 2 tires under this caution flag to try to regain their track position and do everything they can. There is some right rear damage on Dyson's part, but there's Corey Hoover who needs some track position. Green flag is out. Again, we're back racing. Little spin of tires on Corey Hoover's end. Watson side by side. Oh, it's trouble down turn number 1. It's Bradley Burke. No caution. Unbelievable save. Still trying to recover his car. Unbelievable. How did he save that?
I'm not sure, but let's pull that back up here on the replay.
Yeah, go ahead, Dave. Take us through it.
Well, as we pull up the Dre Broadcasting replay, we are going to focus here on the 51 of Bradley Burke. Let's take a ride here. Loses it through the turn, gets into the grass 3 wide. Still kind of losing it. Some more contact, but I tell you, good driving by all them drivers. Wow, that was amazing.
And that was fantastic driving. I don't care who you are. These boys in this league have some talent. There's no doubt. Man, there's battles all over the place. There's Burke trying to get underneath Lawrence back here. But there's battles up towards the front. And it's a big old battle. Look at Fennelson getting underneath the 22 of Watson as Ryan Dyson continues to lead.
I tell you what, look who's there, though. You got 33 of Corey Hoover and a 45 Carl Shedd as well. Walker Thomas is in the mix. Eric de Blasio there. Still some big names there looking to get their way up to the front.
Oh, Fennelson washed up the track. Oh, and he turned. Oh, he got turned by Corey Hoover. Fennelson, caution is out.
Well, as we are going to take a look here at Fennelson, see exactly what happened here on our Dre Broadcasting replay, focusing on Fennelson as he was battling with the 22 of Jake Watson. Jake Watson there on the outside. And I'm not sure, but my screen froze.
Well, I can probably take you a little bit on what happened. Entering the corner of turn 1 and coming into the middle of the corner, it looked like the 14 did slide up the track, kind of slid like it was on ice skates, and he tried to catch it. So it was kind of like a looseness effect. Corey Hoover seen that, and he tried to take advantage of it on the inside, and he was there on the inside. He definitely was there, but they were kind of coming 3 wide off the corner, and the door got slammed on Corey Hoover, which means he got tagged in the left rear quarter panel and turned Fennelson around. Pit stops are underway. Looks like Jake Watson, Carl Shedd, Walker Thomas, all staying out. Battle off pit road. Riley Grant Davis beats Shane Tyrion and Ryan Dyson off of pit road. Wow.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, I do apologize. Not sure what happened. Screen froze, but I am working at getting it back up. Meanwhile, Tanner's going to keep the action live here as I work to get my screen up as soon as possible.
You bet. As this is probably going to be like an MRN radio here, and I don't know if all you race fans out there are watching here tonight ever listen to MRN radio on the NASCAR races, but I'm going to do my best for sure to call the action for you, as you guys are just going to listen and probably imagine it in your heads. So this is going to be some fun. I'm always a MRN radio guy. I love listening to the races on the radio. What I used to do, since we are under yellow flag right now, pace car lights are still turned on. Jake Watson's going to be your race leader. But what I still do today is if I'm at home watching the house and I got some friends over, we're going to watch a NASCAR race or something. Usually it's going to be Talladega, Daytona is when we have the friends over. Usually it's the bigger races. Whenever the TV goes to a commercial break, we'll mute the TV and we'll turn on the radio. That way we never miss a split second. One of us literally, actually I have NASCAR race view. That way we don't miss any kind of action, what's going on. That's how big race fans we are. As we got the pace car lights are still turned. Actually, they're turned off right now. Jake Watson stayed out. Carl Shed in second stayed out, and Walker Thomas stayed out. Now Jake Watson's going to choose the outside row down the back straightaway. Pace car is going to take a charge down pit road. Walker Thomas, Riley Grant Davis, and Shane Tyrion are all on 2 tires, from my understanding, except Walker Thomas stayed out. So Thomas, Shed, and Watson stay out. We're back green flag racing here at Martinsville again. Big jump by Jake Watson on the outside row. He's going to be your race leader. Carl Shed so far in second. 3 wide coming off turn number 2. It is Ryan Dyson splitting these guys in the middle. He split Riley Grant Davis back there. And Shane Tyrion. Ryan Dyson still side by side. The 24 machine goes around. Big accident on the front straightaway. Big accident on the front straightaway. Caution is out once again. And it involves the 24 car machine of Riley Grant Davis, extremely loose off the corner of the racetrack. Gets bumped twice from Joe Lawrence, who gets turned around. Joe Lawrence actually doored the 21 of Adam de Blasio, which was a big old collision. The 88 of Joshua Adams is involved with this. This is pretty much a 4-car accident. Bradley Burke has some heavy damage. Some championship contenders involved in this race. This is a second race in a row Joe Lawrence did not want to see, as we're under caution again at Martinsville. Pit road is open. Majority of the leaders are going to stay out. Only counting Joseph Tice, Bradley Burke, Joe Lawrence, Adam Blasio, Riley Grant Davis, and Joshua Adams all on pit road. Everybody else staying out. Hopefully everything is okay in the director's chair, but nonetheless, we'll continue to call the action here on the Dre Broadcasting Network in a video live stream form or in a radio form, folks. Thank you for hanging in there with us tonight. 65 laps to go. We just seen our 7th caution. You are hearing to the 7th caution of the evening. There is some blinking issues going on down pit road. That is some connection issues that is involving the 78 of Joe Lawrence. So with that being said, we pace car lights are still turned on down in turn 1 and 2. We have some technical difficulties going on here on the Dre Broadcasting Network, but nonetheless, we have video back up. From what I'm seeing on my end. Hopefully everybody else is seeing the same. I don't know, Dave, you have more information about that?
Yeah, the picture's back up. Sorry for that technical difficulties, why I tried to work on get it, but we got the picture back up here on lap 187 at 250.
We apologize, folks, for the miss-up, but we will continue to call the action. All right, so we're going to get the one-to-go signal here. We do have the ones on pit road getting as much damage as he can. Lawrence is still on the lead lap. He's in his pit box as the race leaders down 3 and 4. Lawrence's pit box is all the way down in 1 and 2. So he's got a little time to try to get all that damage repaired. There's some significant damage on that 78 machine of Joe Lawrence, who started 3rd today, led the majority of the laps. One to go right now. So let's reset the field for you, folks. It is Jake Watson out front. Who's probably the fastest car on a long run. He's actually fast in a short run, too. But I think others can compete him on a short run. Jake Watson, Carl Shed, Walker Thomas, Shane Tyrion, Ryan Dyson, the top 5. Now, Thomas, I think it's Thomas, Shed, and Watson are on older tires. Here we go. 3 wide on the start. Looked like Dyson tried going 3 wide, and it did not work. Shane Tyrion all the way above the racetrack. 3 wide, big accident off of turn number 2. Caution is out again. And it is Walker Thomas, and I do believe Shane Tyrion. Is it Shane Tyrion? It was not. It was Jacob Adams.
Well,
like
as we go back to the Dre broadcast replay, we're going to focus on Walker Thomas. A little tap between him and Dyson. He goes around into the outside wall. Some heavy damage, heavy smoke coming from that 18 machine of Walker Thomas.
Yeah, I apologize. That Jacob Adams was not involved with that, but pretty heavy damage to Walker Thomas. He took a head-on hit into the outside wall safer barrier, as that might end the day of Walker Thomas. All right, the caution flags are starting to starting to roll in here, Dave, and we're a little bit over. We're coming down to 58 laps to go here at Martinsville. I don't think we're done seeing the yellow flag just yet.
Well, they say cautions breed cautions, Tanner.
Especially on a short track. We did say this track, I did say at the top of the show that this track is probably going to be the wild card of the round of 12.
Looks like the 10 machine of Robert Kenny is going to get the lucky dog. He is going to be back to one lap down.
Man, Robert Kenny's really hanging tough in this race, man. I mean, he's been in the back of the pack, been lapped down all race long. He's been multiple laps down, actually. He's more wrecks we see here at Martinsville, the more he can probably gain that back. Now, I can tell you, the 88 car was involved, not in this last caution, but the caution beforehand was involved, as his championship chances are more than likely going to be done after today. All right, we should see the one to go signal this time by. No, we do not. Wow, I'm surprised. So pace car lights are still turned on. 12 cars are going to remain on the lead lap. Bradley Burke, he's another driver in that had heavy damage. Not this caution, but the last caution. He's got a beat up 51 machine. All right, well, I am going, since we're talking about this race here at Martinsville, I'm going to throw in a little bit of a trivia question here for you folks here tonight. The trivia question is, in NASCAR-related races, what were the fewest running cars running at the finish? How many fewest running cars were running at the finish? I'll reveal the answer later in the broadcast as we get into the closing stages.
Yes, we are back, one to go. They are on the backstretch coming into turn 3. 54 laps to go at the drop of the green flag. Pace car is off. They are coming through turn 3 and 4. Being led by the 22 of Jake Watson. Jake Watson gets a great run. Brian Dyson there to the inside of Carl Shedd. Coming into turn 1 and 2. Corey Hoover right there just watching the battle in front of him. Nowhere to go at this time.
Oh! Man, Dyson got loose. Wow. Good save by Dyson. That was Ryan Dyson who was battling for second there. Now he's battling Hoover for third. There's the 20 car of Eric de Blasio. Going underneath, trying to get underneath Araya there. Shane Terrian's back up there. I figured Shane Terrian his day was going to be done, but it's not. Feel bad for Walker Thomas. He's sitting on pit road right now. I just wonder how much of a championship, how much this is going to hurt his championship chances. Was 6th walking into the championship today. So far, it's Jake Watson out front, being challenged by the 45 of Carl Shedd. Car blinking would be Ryan Dyson. At least he was momentarily. Got Jake Watson, Carl Shedd, top 2 drivers, Corey Hoover. Oh, almost contact between the 22 and the 45 for the race lead. Down in turn number 3. I think the party spoiler right there is in that 33 car. He may have spun out earlier, but he did not affecting him whatsoever. Oh, contact between Shane Terry and the 20 of Eric de Blasio. Kind of washed up the racetrack there. Almost cost de Blasio a position on track to Michael Fennelson. Joseph Tice is back on the lead lap. He's trying to get back into this mix. Michael Laraya, or excuse me, the 44 car, yeah, Michael Laraya, battle for the lead. Shed is going underneath Watson. Off of turn number 4, racing to the line. It's going to be Watson this time by down in turn number 3. Door, bumper, not clear. Almost, at least from the camera angle from my view, he hit the wall, but he did not hit the wall. Still side by side for the race lead. Pretty clean on that number 22 machine of Jake Watson. Here comes that outside row of Corey Hoover. Really has nowhere to go since the leaders are side by side. Still contending for the top spot on the track.
Got a little heads up here in the chat. Bronson Stafford in there saying Walker had 14 points on Ryan Dyson and 10 points on Bradley Burke. So if Ryan finishes third or worse, with Walker staying 14th, Walker will make it. Bradley has to finish at least 4th or better to even have a shot to make it into the round of 8.
Yeah, just walking into the race, according to mathematically, it was a 10-point gap between Walker Thomas and Bradley Burke. That was Walker Thomas 6th and Bradley Burke 9th. But yeah, that's man, Martinsville's such a wild card when you throw it into the chase. Or not the chase. I don't call it the chase anymore. It's the playoffs. That race lead is not giving up whatsoever. Look at Carl Shed hanging really tough on the bottom side of the racetrack. Corey Hoover's got nowhere to go. He could take a 3 wide, but that could end a disaster right there. At the line last time by, it was Carl Shed. Side by side. Coming off turn 2 once again for the top spot. And now that line on that outside row is where the strong point of Jake Watson is. As the tires wear. Not on fresh tires, but as the tires wear. I do like the entrance of Carl Shed, but it's kind of hurting him on exit. It's the opposite of Jake Watson. He's taken a weird entrance, but he's gained a good momentum on corner exit. Wow. 1/100th of a second. He led that lap by Jake Watson did. Still side by side, and as of right now, as I'm looking, it's the only battle on track. That's going on side by side. The top spot. These drivers are just not going to give it up, and I think they're just going to wear off the tires the more they continue to run like this. Oh boy, looked like you could have had him there. Here comes Watson with a nice run off of the exit of turn number 2. Corey Hoover's just sitting in the popcorn seat. If anything happens, he might play a little bumper tag here. Trying to rear. He might go 3 wide. I think Hoover's had enough of this, but he can't make a 3 wide. Still side by side. Trying to gain some momentum, Hoover's trying to do, but there's nowhere to go for him. And he's got Dyson in his rearview mirror. Oh, got a little loosey-goosey goes Carl Shed. That will kill the momentum, and Corey Hoover's actually going to take advantage of this. Watson, clear all around. Now it's the battle for second between Carl Shed, Corey Hoover.
Corey Hoover's going to take that second position away. Now he's looking to the inside of Jake Watson. Jake Watson under fire again. Man, they want around this guy.
They want around this guy. And I tell you what, Jake Watson, he's been busy all night tonight, battling for position on track. Oh, contact between Hoover and Watson. Hoover's into the inside wall. Watson's trying to protect the race lead. Battle up front. no, caution! Hoover's blowing the engine. He is smoking.
Yeah, but meanwhile, Jake Watson, I don't know how, but he is still holding off the 45 of Carl Shed, is coming to the line. Oh, that one was close, and Jake Watson's going to lead that lap.
9/1000ths of a second he led that lap by. Man, tires are smoking, sheet metal dragging, and we're still racing.
Yeah, 34 laps to go here at Martinsville.
Woo! Did you see that day down with the race leaders? Ever so close, ever so fast.
Yeah, I mean, my hat's off to Jake Watson on saving that car and still maintaining the lead.
Oh, Lord. Still maintain that lead. It's getting them good runs. That's what's saving them, is the good runs on corner exit. Caution is out on a speedway. Joe Lawrence is around on the backstretch.
As we go back, we're going to take a look at the 78 of Joe Lawrence here on the Dre Broadcasting Replay. He is running. Still see the smoke there coming from Corey Hoover, who is still out on the track. He comes into the turn and just, well, yeah, he just loses it after the turn on the straightaway. Just a slight tap to the wall, enough to bring out the caution here with 31 laps to go.
Believe it or not, with that blown engine, Corey Hoover actually brought it to the garage area right now. Can we get a camera angle on Corey Hoover and how he's sitting in the infield?
Yep, he is taking it back to the hauler.
He definitely is. He actually was trying to limp it all the way around the racetrack with a smoking car. And it finally gave out on the exit turn, too. But check this out. We got Dyson leading the charge off pit road. That's Ryan Dyson. Did he take 2 tires? I assume he did. He definitely did.
I don't know. Yep, he had a 7.5 second pit stop. He looks to be the only one that took 2 tires.
That was a long green flag run, though, but we'll see what's going to happen here. It's going to be interesting to watch. Robert Kenny kind of stayed out, but he's going to come down pit road this time by, I would assume. Yes, he will. Wow. Well, I tell you what, if we went from having only 3 cautions in this race to now up to 9 cautions, Dave.
Well, that's the old saying of a buddy of mine, Joe White, and them always using their broadcast from OSR Network. Cautions breed cautions, and that's just what happened here. So, 29 laps to go. These guys know. Gotta get these points in this race if they want a chance to make it into the round of 8.
Most definitely, and we've already seen a big old mix-up today. We know the 88 of Joshua Adams will be eliminated from the playoffs. I think Walker Thomas is going to be another driver. Actually, if he can hang on to that. Right now, Corey Hoover, he's out of the race. Lawrence is a lap down. Kenny is actually 11th. He's going to regain, if he can get a top 10, that'd be great. Whether it's going to be enough to finish in the top 8 in points, I don't know. Pace cars down pit road, 2 tires, Ryan Dyson. Let's see what he can do. Need a good run. He does get the good shot out of turn number 4, like a hot dog flying out of a bun. Down in turn number 1 and 2. Side by side for second place, Carl Shed and Jake Watson. But oh boy, here comes, wow, Dyson really slammed the door on Watson. They have to try to do it again. As long as Watson is side by side with Shed, he's going to protect that outside row. You know Shed's going to do everything he can in his power to try to get that second spot. He's been trying to work on Watson all race, actually I should say all race long, for the last number of laps for the race lead. Hanging tough, Ryan Dyson is, though. Man, I tell you. Oh, contact, door-to-door, beating and bang between Shed and Watson.
Bronson Stafford saying there in the chat there, Tanner, that Ryan has to win in order to advance. That's the only way Ryan Dyson can get into the round of 8 if he can hold these guys off for 25 more laps.
Ryan Dyson, okay, so he was 10th coming in here, 34, so he was a good...
Now you gotta remember, they get that win, they're automatically into the next round.
He's a good 6 points behind the top 8, so he would have to beat Bradley Burt, Robert Kenny, and Adams. We know what Adams has done. He already had a gap. Actually, he was tied, right? You're right. Dyson and Kenny were tied. Realistically, this is what Dyson needs. Yeah, I mean, I don't mean to be, I don't want to call Ron Stafford wrong. I'm just doing my own math here as well. But we got a battle charge up for the lead. Ryan Dyson is under fire from Joe Watson. This is not good for Dyson. There was some contact in the back of the field there. Not sure who it was, but we remain green flag. But the battle is up towards the front. Dyson versus Watson. Dyson, realistically, he has to beat Fennelson, Bradley Burke, Robert Kenny, and Joshua Adams. Well, yeah, in a way, he would have to win this race to guarantee that next round spot. Where is Fennelson right now? I haven't talked about Fennelson in a while, even though the race lead's going on. Fennelson is 7th, but the race lead is still going on point. Watson led that last time by. I don't know how long Ryan Dyson is going to continue to hold off Jake Watson, almost door-to-door contact. There could have been, if anything, very slight contact between Dyson and Watson. Battle of the Suns. The last name's very familiar, but it's Watson and Dyson. Looks like Watson's going to clear him. I think he will. He does. Oh, bumper contact. Oh, look at that. Ricochet contact. Caution is out. Wow. That was down in turn number 1 there, Dave. We'll pull it up on the Dre Broadcasting. I seen contact between Carl Shed and Dyson first. That ricocheted right into the 22. What do you see from your vantage point?
Yeah, it takes a look here. Coming off of the turn, Watson clears Dyson. Dyson moves up. Charles Shed on the inside, different break points, gives a little bump to the 28, who also gives a bump to the 22. So heavy damage. What is this going to do? We are now looking at 16 laps to go.
16 laps to go, and I see a lot of cars staying out. Dyson he needs to win this race if he is going to be a part of the round of 8. And he will stay out. Carl Shed stays out. Fennelson stays out. Lucky Dog's going to go to Joe Lawrence, who is 1 lap down. He'll get back on the lead lap. Joseph Tice. We have not talked too much about him all day. He's been a lap or 2 down before. Look at that. He's in the top 5. Jake Watson also stays out in 5th. Shane Tyrion is going to be the first guy off of pit road with 4 fresh tires. Lariah is going to be a little bit actually different here. Lariah is going to lose spots on pit road. That would be Jamie Dyson and Bradley Burke.
Wow, I didn't think it was going to be this close here tonight, but we are looking 14 laps to go. We should be getting the green flag with just 12 laps to go. Once again, new rules here on iRacing with 5 laps to go. If the caution comes out, that is going to end the race. No green-white checkered here on iRacing.
Coming down to it. So, with that being said, we still have the caution flag. We get the one to go this time by? No, we don't. Okay. So, that being said, Just wow, this is a crazy turn of events. And Dave, we talked about it on the top of the show, and actually before the broadcast launched tonight, that Martinsville is kind of like the short track of Talladega. It's a wild card.
Yeah, and I mean, I'll tell you right now, it's a tough track because you gotta have your braking points, you gotta hit your marks, otherwise it's gonna throw your car off and you're gonna be into the wall.
Walker Thomas is still out there on the racetrack out there. 15 laps down in 13th. Robert Kenny, 5 laps down, 12th. Well, we got the 1-to-go signal here. Well, folks, all you guys at home there, hopefully you refilled your drinks, your popcorn, or whatever you're eating, munching on, drinking beer. Hopefully you got some seatbelts on this one, because this is going to be an incredible finish, setting up to be one. Here we go. Ryan Dyson, green flag, gets a nice, very nice jump, a very good restart. Carl Shedd slams the door on Fendelson, 3 wide for third. Beating and banging, contact. Around goes Fendelson.
Well, we're going to put the Dre Broadcasting replay because Jake Watson making moves 3 wide into the turn here as we're pulling up the Dre Broadcasting replay. Yeah, it's going to be Joseph Tice, the 14 of Fendelson, and the 22 of Jake Watson coming here into the turn after the restart. Let's go back to the restart here as they get a good run. Jake Watson looking good there on the inside. He is going to make a run here on the outside. Just barely gets in there. Contact between the 22 and the 14. 14 and the 5. The 5 goes around Shane Terry in a little bit of contact. Oh, this is really going to shake things up. It's going to be an interesting finish here, Tanner.
The more we run on a caution flag here, the more I just think we just seen our last restart. As Dave pointed out, iRacing does not have green-white checkers. So if this race would end with about 5 laps to go or less, that means the race will end under caution. It looks like Walker Thomas is going to get the lucky dog. Oh boy, this is going to be an interesting finish right here. If I was Ryan Dyson, what I don't like is that Watson's going to restart third. So if I was Ryan Dyson, this is what I do: restart on the outside road. That way, as big of a jump as you're getting, you can get that big jump.
Yeah, I agree, because what that's going to do is that would put the 45, Carl Shedd.
Yep.
He's going to be on the inside right in front of the 22 Watson. What I agree with you, because what that means is Watson and Carl Shedd's going to either have to work together, or Watson is wanting to win, so he's going to be fighting him, allowing Ryan Dyson to pull away. We are sitting at 7 laps to go. Probably next time, maybe we'll get the white or 1 to go. As they come out of turn 4, we're going to keep an eye on that, see if we get the 1 to go. But you're absolutely right. If I was Dyson, I'd start there on the outside. No, we are not going to get the 1 to go. We are at 6 laps to go. So we are going to go green flag racing with 4 laps to go.
And this will be the green flag racing for the final time. And the next flag will end the race. So with Ryan Dyson out front like this, and the reason why I say take the outside line, realistically, Dave, it's just personal experience. My personal experience in league racing on the sim, and and also official racing sessions. Actually, I shouldn't say official race session, but league racing, of course, from my experience. I've always restarted on the outside road to pin the fastest guy, whoever's faster than I am. If he's third, pin him down there, that way I would give the inside road to the 45, but it is not going to happen. Oh Lord, I think that may have been maybe a mistake on Ryan Dyson's part, but nonetheless, he's going to be the leader. He's going to be in control of the restart with 4 laps to go coming this time by. Here we go, pace cars in. Next flag ends the race. We get a caution, it's over. Green flag is out. Oh man, oh no, this is gonna be bad because look how the big jump Watson got, and here comes the 28 to throw the black. 5 cars spinning. No caution. We got a wreck on the back straightaway. No caution. Caution is out. The race is over, and it's the Ryan Dyson. Wow. What was the caution for? I see it on the corner of my eye of the wreck. A lot of beating and banging in turn 1 and 2. Jamie Dyson was the driver that spun off of turn number 4 to hit the inside wall, and that brought out the yellow flag. As soon as he could have towed it there. By the time he got moving is the time the caution flag came out. I did see that on the caution lights at the track here. But this will end the race. Ryan Dyson will advance to the round of 8, providing he finishes this race, of course, under caution. Lucky Dog is going around to Walker Thomas. Walker Thomas will finish this race 13 laps down. Unbelievable. What a race. Folks, please don't go away when we take the checkered flags, because we're going to be talking to the top 3 drivers, Ryan Dyson, Carl Shedd, and Jake Watson. And I am actually going to, since we're under caution here, and we are under the white flag lap, so we're going to call it right here. So I'm going to throw Ryan Dyson in the interview room here. But it is going to be Ryan Dyson taking a gamble of a call to finish and advance. He wins the race and advances to the round of 8. What a race. Trying to find my drivers here, Dave, and it's not working out very good. Oh, there's Shedd. He's in the interview room, but I'm not seeing Watson.
Yeah, so unfortunately, we're only going to be able to get interviews in tonight with the 28 of Ryan Dyson and the 45 of Carl Shedd, our top 2 drivers here tonight.
All right, let's pull up Ryan Dyson right here. Ryan Dyson, Ray Broadcasting Network, do you have a copy?
Oh, I got a copy, boys.
Well, what a gamble of a call. You were under fire for a number of laps earlier, then we got a caution flag, and then you had some couple good restarts. I still say that you should have restarted on the outside road to pin that inside road down with as fast as Jake Watson is. Take us through the closing moments of the race today.
I finally won a cup race in Upper Edge. That's all I really gotta say. I couldn't run the outside the entire time. I knew it was the preferred groove the whole night, and I couldn't make it work. So I knew staying out was my only option to try and get the track position and try and hold them off.
Hey, what no better way to win your first cup race of the season by that would help you advance to the round of 8, buddy. So that's got to really pump you up for the upcoming race, which is going to be Texas Motor Speedway to begin the round of 8. But man, what were your thoughts going through your mind under that last caution flag right there before we took the green flag? What were you thinking?
I'm still shaking. I know it's just sim racing, but we put a lot of effort and a lot of work into not only just running the league, but trying to win one of these races. And there's so many good drivers in this league, and so many good drivers on iRacing period. Just to finally win one, I was praying that I didn't get punted or something on the last lap or anything like that. And that's really all that was going through my head. I sent a message to Jake and was like, please just race me clean. This is my championship on the line. So that's pretty much all that was going through my head, was just please don't let anything stupid happen.
You had a very scary moment down in turn number 1 where you got punted, and you really did a phenomenal job in saving it, and then it ricocheted into the 22. Talk about that scary moment down in turn number 1.
Yeah, I was trying to stay under Jake, and it was, he was racing me clean, and bad that I turned him, but it was nothing to my own doing. I don't know who it was behind me, but I got punted up the track and I made a good save. And next thing I knew, after saving the car, it was sending him around, and I felt horrible for that. But I think he came back and finished second or third, so that makes me feel a little bit better. But yeah, I felt horrible at the time about that one.
Yeah, absolutely. But nonetheless, you come away with the victory, and now you're in the round of 8. Now we're going to start the round of 8 next week, November 2nd, live here on the Dre Broadcasting Network for the Lone Star 250 at Texas Motor Speedway. So that pressure is off your back on advancing to the next round. How do you feel now that you're still a playoff contender? How do you feel about entering Texas?
Texas, not ideal. The other 2 races I feel very good about. Historically, I've had some really good runs at plate tracks. New Hampshire is one of my best tracks, so the little string of top 5 finishes in the last handful of weeks we're on, and obviously getting the win tonight, and the confidence now that I have, I think, is really going to help propel things. So I think next week just try and get a top 10, and then really go for it the last 2 races and see if we can't make a run at the round of 4.
I absolutely agree with you there, Ryan. Thank you for coming to talk with us tonight. Your first top 5 since Richmond about earlier in the month of October. Now you finally get win number 1, and you're still in contention on trying to win this championship. Good luck next week at Texas Motor Speedway.
Thanks, guys. We'll hopefully talk to you next.
That was Ryan Dyson, folks, getting position number 1, winning the race here and advancing to the round of 8. He needed that win. Now let's go down to talk to the second place driver, Carl Shedd. And Carl Shedd, do you have a copy?
Oh, I got you.
You had an up and down day today here at Martinsville, man. Talk to me about it, because you were middle of the pack. You led a couple of laps. Didn't have a dominating car, but you were up and down that leaderboard, at least in the top 10 all day today. Talk to me about your day at Martinsville.
Yeah, I got started off bad with just a lazy qualifying effort, and that started me in the back with no shot. So 250 laps here is long, and just kept the car clean. I think if I had been starting in the top 3, it would have been a different story. I don't know how things would have turned out, but you put yourself in a hole that far back here. And then I tried some pit strategy for some track position there early too, stayed out. And of course, when I would do that, we would go green for 100 laps or whatever it was, 65 laps. So that didn't work. It put me back even further than I started. So it was one of those things. I had the speed, I had the long run car. I just didn't have the track position. And slowly throughout the night, we worked it up through there. And honestly, I had a good shot to win. I'm very happy for Ryan. He puts a shit ton of work into this league. Making sure that the good schedule, solid rules, good competitors, great website, broadcast that you guys put on every week. But man, he's lucky, man. I feel if that had went green, I needed a lap or 2 to clear him on the outside, and that's frustrating, man. When you get that lucky position to be on the outside to pass, and you get a tough break like a caution, it's very frustrating.
Did you believe the outside line was really going to work today here in Martinsville, or was it going to be all the inside line? Because as the race went on, we seen Jake Watson on older tires utilize that outside line, and it really worked. What are your thoughts on the lines today?
Yeah. That cycle he and I raced side by side for it felt like 30 laps. We were on the same tire strategy there. We'd both kind of stayed out that last run, so. I think we might have done a good job defending the rest of the pack from getting around us there, holding people up. But it feels like everything on iRacing with this build. It's I don't want to be negative. It's just there is no real passing. We saw this at Chicagoland. You see this around. It's like you get 2 people side by side, and both lanes just stall out really. So if you have 2 guys on equal tires, there's not. It makes for good racing. It makes for good television. But when you don't have track position and you're trying to work your way through a field, boy, it can be frustrating.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was saying at the top of the show that Martinsville in this round of 12 is like the short track of Talladega, the wild card race, and it certainly was, because we do have some unexpected drivers right now that will not make the round of 8, I'm being told. But Carl, thanks for coming to talk with us. And one more final question for you. Now that you're the points that you're coming into Martinsville, and you're going to advance to the round of 8, how are you going to approach the next 3 races of the round of 8? You got Texas, Talladega, and New Hampshire, starting with Texas.
Yeah, the all those tracks, with the exception of Talladega, of course, it's always the wild card. I enjoy those other tracks. Have been good there. Texas is a home track for me, so I can't wait for that. So, it really all comes down to Talladega for everyone. Whoever wins Texas, of course, is going to be ecstatic because they're going to be able to avoid the random round. But yeah, if you don't win Texas, I think whether it's Lariah or Lawrence or Tice or myself, any of these guys that have been running that top 5 all season, uh, hell, all 4 of us could get knocked out. But
Yeah.
So that's going to be the race that it's going to just be almost survive, and hope you've got some good friends around you. I think that would be your best bet. And then of course New Hampshire. It's like a sized up Martinsville as far as the way it runs. Once again, not really much passing happening there, so it's going to make for an interesting race. So it should make for some decent television.
The way you described everything, I mean, as not just a commentator up here in the booth, but I tell you what, as a race fan, you got me going here. I'm excited to literally watch all these races and see how this is going to play out there, Carl. So congratulations on a second place finish. You're in the round of 8, and we will see you at Texas.
Thank you, buddy. I'd like to thank my friends at Aegis Motorsports who put in a lot of good work with us. My buddies here, Adam, Joseph, and Eric. Trevor couldn't be with us tonight. My sponsors, Power Tech and Andy's Lobster Rolls. Andy Kessler puts on the paints, and James Ross puts on spots for me occasionally and is a good friend. And Ryan for putting on the league, and you guys for putting on a good show. And you guys have a good night. We'll catch you next week.
That was Carl Shedd, folks, finishing position number 2 tonight in that 44 machine. And he's ready to go for Texas, his home track. But Dave, we don't have a chance to talk to Jake Watson here tonight, so we'll move on. Final thoughts of Martinsville, and we'll pack it up and ready to go to Texas.
Tell you what, got exactly what I was expecting here at Martinsville. Short track racing, bumping. Saw some bump and runs. It's typical here. Can't get upset. You gotta expect it to happen. But I'm excited next week. Texas, it's a fast track. It's a driver's track. Should be interesting for the first race in the round of 8.
Yeah, and before I do continue to finish off reading the race results here, the trivia question that I asked earlier, I actually totally forgot about it with all the action going on the track. Fewest running cars at the finish. The answer is 4 cars running at the finish. That happened May 6th, 1951. All right, so let's go over the finish here quickly and then wrap her up. Ryan Dyson takes the victory tonight. Carl Shedd will finish in 2nd. Jake Watson, great run as a non-playoff driver, finishes in 3rd. Shane Tyrion in 4th. Eric de Blasio in 5th. Joe Lawrence rebounds after wrecking multiple times tonight in 6th. Michael Lariah in 7th. Joseph Tyson 8th. Bradley Burke 9th. Michael Fennelson rounding out the top 10. Jamie Dyson 11th. Walker Thomas in 12th. Robert Kenny in 13th, Corey Hoover in 14th, Jacob Adams 15th, Adam de Blasio in 16th, Riley Grant Davis in the 17th spot tonight, Joshua Adams in the 88 will finish 18th, Bronson Stafford rounding out the top 19 car field that started tonight's event. All right, so just a slight update here. The big name driver that has won races this season will not make the round of 8, and that driver is Michael Fennelson. That's very unfortunate. Michael Fennelson is out. Walker Thomas is in the round of 8. That's wow, that's a huge change up right there. I thought Michael Fennelson was one of the top guys in the season as far as his speed is concerned, but I'm sure he'll show some of that speed next week in Texas. All right, we'd like to thank all the organizers and the drivers for running in the Upper Edge Racing League's Profile Machine Products Cup Series powered by OurExpression. Thank you to OurExpression for sponsoring the series and the race today for the OurExpression Studio 250. Join us next week live here on the Dre Broadcasting Network for the Lone Star 250 at 9:05 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, November 2nd, 2017, for the start of round of 8. I'm Tanner Sharp. This is David Everly. See you later. See you next week at Texas.